Hello, this is Banjo Boogie. This is a Plectrum Banjo introduction. I'm going to talk about 3 chords you can play in open position, how to move them, and talk a little bit about how to play a song using chord melody. This is a Plectrum Banjo. It's a normal scale length of a typical 5-string banjo, except there's no 5th string. And Plectrum Banjo tuning this thicker string, the 4th string, down to C, and then the other strings are G, B, D. So an open G major, like open G tuning, but we're gonna tune this one down to C. So sometimes that's called C standard or drop C. There you go, that's the sound of the plectrum tuning. So the first chord we're gonna talk about is open C. So we've got the lowest 2 strings open, and then you've got the 1st fret, which is the note C. And then we've got E up there. That creates the C chord. Okay? With all of these, if you play regular open G tuning, you might know like a C is similar. So all of these are going to be the same shapes, but the thickest string or the 4th string is going to be shifted up or down, depending. There you go. There's C. Let's learn an F now, right? And we're going to have that thickest string open again, 2nd finger here, 1st finger there, and then either your ring or probably I would use my pinky there to play that nice F chord. So at that point you can practice switching from C to F. Okay, the next chord, because we're in the key of C, we're going to do 1, 4, 5, C, F, and G. Now open G, normally we just play open, right? But that C is not going to work, so we use the 2nd fret to play our G chord. All right? Okay, I want to talk quickly about moving these. So that was open position 3 chords. That's all you need to play like a million songs. But now we're going to move the chords. So when we play this open C, that shape is movable if you add a bar, right? And then use 2 other fingers to play that. So that was open, but if I wanted to play it, say on D, I have to bar that and then do that. So C, now that's E, sorry, D, E, F, G. Okay, so that one's movable, but that's the shape we go off, is that C shape with the bar. Okay, so let's talk about F. That one's movable again. You're gonna have to use your 1st finger to carry that. So let's say we moved F up 2 to G. Well, I have to use these fingers now so my index can grab that. Okay, some people have trouble with that one. This chord uses all of your fingers on a different fret. So if that's tricky for you, then work on that, because that's a really important one. Great exercise for your fingers, okay? So it's kind of like if you play guitar, it starts like a power chord shape, right? 2, 4, my middle finger plays that G, and then my pinky plays the G up here. Okay, eventually with these shapes you want to know where like your roots are, and that's going to help you with your chord melody and stuff. So that shape of F is now movable G, A, B flat, C, anywhere you want. Okay? So now we're going to move the G shape. Here's that G. And you might think, yeah, I got to bar these, so I'm going to do it like that. And sometimes I do use this shape. But another chord tone you can use on this lowest string is right below where the bar is. So like that's G and this is A, right? And I'm gonna put like an index right there on the fret before it, which I believe is the 3rd, right? So that's the 3rd, or you could use different fingers for that sometimes, depending. So if that's G, A, B flat, C, D, E, you want to practice moving those, and then also think like, oh, if this is C, then I'm going to go here to play the next form of C, and here to play the next form of C. So that's kind of what you're working on is playing. There's only 3 shapes. We just learned them: C, F, G, and then you just got to learn those 3 shapes for every chord where they happen, and then everything opens up. I love playing a song, you know, instead of just playing this and this, you might do, you know, you can play different shapes over the same chord. All right, we did open chords, we did moving the chords, and now I want to talk about playing a chord melody. I'm going to use a song everybody knows called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Okay, so in the chords for Twinkle Twinkle, let's talk about it real quick, like just the first part so we can demonstrate this. Twinkle, twinkle, and then F, star, back to C, and then it does another F here, okay? It goes back to F, then back to C. It's a lot of C and F, and then finally the G, right? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Okay? Now, if I play the melody, so the first step to playing chord melody is to play the melody, and we're going to play it as much on this first string as possible. And the exception to that is when we play this C, that's about as low as I want to go on a chord melody. So when I play this C in chord melody, I just don't play the first string, so I kind of mute it or skip it. Right? Because our melody goes like this. So when I start, I just don't play that note. And now my next melody note is here, and it's still over a C note. So remember, G, A, B, C. Nice. Oop. And then my next note is here, and it's over that F chord. So if you think about C, D, E, F, there's my F chord. And then back to this C. Okay, then it goes to an F again, but the melody's going down. So that's F, F, C, C, G, D, C on this note here, leaving out the first string. Okay, so that's how you play Twinkle Twinkle with chord melody. Tremolo style is very common here in this style. Okay, so I can post a tab for the entire song of Twinkle Twinkle, but I just wanted to demonstrate how that works. This is the whole concept of Plectrum Banjo. You can obviously play this instrument any way you want. There's lots of things you can do. You can play single string melodies, you can just strum chords, but chord melody is kind of what it's known for, and it makes beautiful chord voicings in this tuning, so go for it. And Twinkle Twinkle is just a simple song to start on that everybody knows, but take some of your favorite jazz standards or whatever have you and start to figure out where the melody is on this first string, and then what chords it's played over and what chord shape you need to do to get to that note. That's all chord melody is. And then sometimes there might be little tricks or extensions you have to do. So learn those things along the way, but start here with these 3 chords and these 3 chord shapes up the neck. All right, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Check out my Patreon, request a song. I love Plectrum Banjo. I hope you too, and keep strumming this thing and making it a boogie banjo, all right?